Priyanka Chaturvedi joins us now, the senior Shiv Sena leader. Thanks, Priyanka, very much for being with us. What exactly does this mean in terms of the entire disqualification procedure now? It's up to the Speaker, but ultimately it could go back to the Supreme Court, as I understand it. Is this something that you're going to be pushing for very, very closely, that those MLAs have to be disqualified in a finite period of time?
Oh, absolutely. It is the responsibility of the Speaker, especially a Speaker who also has been elected unconstitutionally and illegally, if I go by what the Supreme Court has judged. Even the run-up to the floor test, which is termed as unconstitutional role by the governor, is categorically shows that this government is only running on the basis of wanting to be in power, but not having the moral right to be in power. Because election of the Speaker and even the trust vote that the Chief Minister has won on the basis of an illegal whip, issuing a whip to his 40 MLAs to vote in particular favor. So we are going to challenge the disqualification. And since the Supreme Court has said it comes in the purview of the Speaker, we will take this up. The second important thing that the Supreme Court has also gone on to mention is that the Election Commission cannot decide the legality of the symbol or the party name on the basis of legislative strength.
Right.
The most important decision that they've done is upheld the 10th schedule, which says the political party and its decision is above the legislative party, above the parliamentary party, and that cannot be denied. So I think this is a very historical judgment in terms of maintaining constitutional propriety as far as governance is concerned. And the way we saw BJP pulling down governments, this is one of them. So we may not have got the government back in power, because that was not really a case to fight. A case was...
But is that something you regret, Priyanka,
out.
that the Chief Minister at that stage, Mr. Thackeray, went and resigned, right? The Supreme Court today seemed to indicate that you may have had relief, you may have gained relief at that stage, had he not done that.
No, so what is also proved by this is that he did not want to be part of the entire unconstitutionality that was prevailing at that point in time, which the Supreme Court has called illegal and unconstitutional, right from declaring the legislative party leader as a Shiv Sena party leader and allowing them to vote, allowing them to select a chief whip, has actually been told by the Supreme Court that it was unconstitutional. So government, we may form the government, we may lose the governments can stay, the governments can be reconstituted, brought back through a judgment. That was not a case to fight. A case was how this entire unconstitutionality was going on, and he refused to be a part of this. He refused to want to go for a floor test on the basis of all the steps that were taken, which went against the principles of
but you know, Priyanka, now,
what anti-defection will want.
Eknath Shinde, the Chief Minister, has interpreted this in exactly the opposite way. He has said, and I quote, "In a democracy, importance is given to the majority. Today's decision proves that the government that we formed, we did it legally and constitutionally." Those are his words.
I can only wish him good luck, because in the future, if this is his idea of interpreting court judgments, then I don't know how he interprets the entire governance of Maharashtra. And that is why perhaps Maharashtra is suffering. Right from industry stepping out of the state, to what we are seeing with the Barsoor refinery, to what we are seeing in terms of rising unemployment, to, the entire, whether it's the farmers, various sections of the state, absolutely rebelling against this government, just goes to show he has zero idea. He's just a puppet in the hands of the BJP. And today it's the BJP which stands exposed for all the immoral activities and illegal activities that they have been indulging in, just for the quest of power. I think by stepping down and not going for a floor test, one thing that comes across clean is that Uddhav Thackeray did not want to be part of unconstitutional measures that were being taken to dislodge him. B, that it wasn't the perks of power that he was running after. It was just that he wanted to work for the people of Maharashtra. And that was unconstitutionally denied to him by the governor. And I really think the governor action should be taken against the governor. The governor cannot be let away by saying what he did was unconstitutional. There should be some action directed at the governor.
So the governor said that he is not a lawyer. The options which were given to him at that time were what he had. And so he acted. He said, "I'm not a lawyer."
No, he's not a lawyer, but he clearly proved himself to be a politician.
No, but let's just look at...
Okay,
but I want to talk about the role of the governor, because here's another quote from the Supreme Court. It is important. "The governor did not have any objective material, and the exercise of discretion of the governor in this case was not in accordance with the law." In other words, the basis, one of the key points on the basis of which your government collapsed was the role of the governor. This is not just about Maharashtra, but I think it sends a message to other governors elsewhere as well.
Absolutely. And if you look at the judgment on the Delhi government versus the LG, also categorically shows how these figureheads are now misusing their positions, continue to be party political people, agenda-driven people, carrying on with a political agenda that they believe that they have to carry out in any state that belongs to a non-state, is West Bengal, whether it is Tamil Nadu, whether it is Telangana, Maharashtra. We've seen what has happened, and now the Supreme Court calling it unconstitutional. I really think till a precedent of punishing the governor, I hate to say it, does not happen, they will continue to misuse their role and authority pressed out on them. Now he worked out of authority also and out of his domain also in pulling down a government. So the Supreme Court is saying we cannot get the government back, but all that happened was unconstitutional and illegal and immoral.
Sure. All right, Priyanka, thanks very much for being with us.